I don't know where you've been. I don't know if everyone can see the people boxing in there. Can other people see them? I was like, well, are they moving out? But no, they're boxing while Justin was reading. It was kind of lovely. Okay, thank you everyone for being here. This is so, can everyone hear me? Okay, this is so nerve-wracking. I don't know, I haven't been in public in a long time. This week it was Bisexual Visibility Day, so I wanted to start with a poem about that. Well, it's kind of about that. Shot glass. I enjoy the reveal most, glimpse of pantyhose thighs taut and glittering before a dress becomes another elaborate dress, a wig torn off to show the other. The dance is a bloom. She is the room, our collective sip of vodka. I tell my male friends I feel safest here. Harness bartenders, butch girls nodding along in collared shirts, my hips swaying in time. I am most aware of my own body. Once in Greece I misread it all. We had done the glances, shy and then not shy. Men danced in cages, shirtless, glistening as if they had emerged from the sea. A silver sign over the bar read, "Bisensual life curious, sorry boys, I like pussy." She and I had matching piercings and she pretended not to know English. I asked for permission. "No, no," she said. Then I asked louder so she could understand. Here, the dance is different. Here, I am unmade by the music. Our laser-lit clearing in the aftermath of a drag show is miles from disobedience. A shot glass cracking a mirror. A lesbian arrested with a head wound. Uniformed men locked in a burning building. Bricks, the heaviest objects thrown. I take selfies against murals of men wearing leather. I am wearing leather. Women press their lips to my neck. Here, the only threat is the one we try our best to quell. We keep low in the gut. We shuffle to a corner. Somewhere in America, there is a man who would like nothing better than to enter this bar with a gun. Wedding. A trucker blares past, headlights illuminating the small cell of your car. You hit the edge's rumble strip. The sky has long since disappeared, and the sound of asphalt thunder rings through you. Marriage, the bright tapestry of a deer's eyes. An entire herd of deer, all their white eyes. A herd of deer watching your car slow not quite to a stop. The grind of gravel, your white headlights, your heart, your tired heart, your two lights just barely revealing what you're most afraid of, that deep black bolt. That's one version. Reader, here's another. I walked down an aisle once. At its end was a glass wall. At the end was an opening spell. Into it, I slipped down through my ivory gown. I kind of hate fairy tale poems. And I was asked to write one this semester, or in the spring. So here's my fairy tale poem. Briar Rose's Dream. Once bitten by flax, always bitten. Her nails grow blood underneath like pink evergreens. King husband makes sure. In fact, he gifted her that bed made of spindles and splinters, hard and sharp and mean. He is so taken by her slack form, of course he cannot help himself. 1, 2 babies for now. You cannot be rescued if you do not know your attacker's face. Sometimes she half wakes alone, maybe makes out the room through a dim glow of beer bottles and strewn clothes. The belly rises and falls like snow. Kits suck on her fingers and toes. King keeps planting rose bushes, planning his ruthless labyrinth, replaces each fraying hedge with another thick red blueprint. Maybe she can almost comprehend that the fireplace unravels its secret. But then she's pricked again, slipping back into dreamlessness, black but for the occasional pale owl circling overhead, mouthing an empty call she found. I hear that people get tired of dead girl poems. And I will be tired of dead girl poems when there are no more dead girls. Sorry. And this poem is for my Treese Richardson. Woman's remains found in canyon, no signs of foul play. Spliced cloth, pulling apart at the fingers, at the split ends of hair, of moss, black turned green, turned black, turned flat as the table you left with your initials wide open to a knife's hard ink. Air split you open, a bird's sad bone. Veins fanned out, seeping dark, oiled blood, traces of fingerprints like lightning. There were sirens, the jail weighed down by a city drowning, by a forest drowning. They felled no field, no feathers, just a loose swarm and nothing smooth is left, merely impeccable bruising. As if nothing broke, as if it was all undetectable as an ant's footprint in soil or anything slick like a woman's thumbprint, the phantom of her skin across a white sunrise, the forked edge of the universe. Any scientist could identify you by this whisper, this mother's frantic, this accident. Here's the love poem to Texas. Mushrooms. Pulling my first from its place in the forest floor felt like slipping a key from its patterned, well-oiled lock. Broken so cleanly at the stem it appeared scalpel sliced. You assured me this was a good find, a boletus from its reddening bruise and lack of gills. But chanterelles proved easiest to forage. Their penny-bright caps glinted between dead leaves, ripe for the taking. Spiders were the largest animals we saw that day, orb weavers bigger than a man's fist, sharp-legged seamstresses whose webs like neural networks transgressed each clearing. Without hair, they weren't so frightening, as if each spider had disrobed herself to display a less menacing skeleton. Still, we kept our distance, and suddenly what I had never paid attention to was flourishing. Oysters in bursts around a rotting stump, amanitas with their white burial shroud, indigo milk caps as fluted and blue as a ballerina's tulle skirt. You told me the wildness might not be as feral as we think, that the fungi's filaments weave a pattern, a conscious fabric, engaging the nearest tree with its opposite furthest tree to say, entwine your roots with my mycelia and I will tell you my secrets. We followed their invisible cartography by whatever heads peered up from autumn's detritus. And though we were strangers there, unmooring each mushroom that seemed least dangerous, we could feel that vast organism underfoot. Silent, but for the sounds of insects, unwitting and soon to be bound. And this is just a regular old love poem. Oh, Bod. Longing is an improper bit in the mouth. You didn't know the word in English, so I explained. For horses, it's nothing like when I put my fingers in and grab your jaw and pull. They've got this perfect empty space. When you stand naked to grab a book or a cigarette, I remind myself to memorize your particular tilt. No man knows his end, my father often says to me. It's about dying, but I hear a lover can exit a doorway. A lover can unwittingly click his teeth against yours. The first filly to win the Derby can be named regret. Mine is in the form of hard muscle and foam. I think that's it. Okay, just a couple more. It is weird. There's like no affirmation. There's just like the sounds of traffic. It's getting darker. It's very strange.
And the boxing people are starting taking their clothes off.
You're not kidding? They really have?
What?
Oh my god. What if something more intense happens? A bear, well, that's a great lead into this poem. A bear stands patiently in shallow water. By the time he shows me the pictures, I'm drunk enough to be intrigued. Him, the only white man in the room during a gangbang, a red sofa, his erect penis, the girl prone and bright. He tells me there was a safe word. Here, my lean-in, slant grin, a carefully placed caress. Hardest to admit I wanted it. The salmon swims upstream despite itself. The bear waits, its pelt like armor in the white water. I fold my clothes into a neat pile, underwear on top, some facsimile of control I don't know I need yet. Harder still to know when no will suffice, so when he says take this white cock like a good girl, I'm caught. My skin is on display. I am never ready. I can only wait until he decides I have been torn into enough, gutted beyond use. Here, no would have made a sound. I unfold my clothes, pocket my underwear, and he drives me home in the dark. Salmon are reddest in the end, flagrant things ready to die. The Courtyard. Let me take a little sip. My students are going to watch this. It's going to be great. The Courtyard. In summer, its trees blaze with color, their fingers spilling over the tenants. There is a smoker, our fixture, her cough a deep chime. 1, 2. Her second floor watch is consistent but punctuated. There are children, creatures of the afternoon, day-glow bicycles lurching forward with half-flat white tires. Sometimes I come home drunk past midnight. I am mostly alone. Sometimes there are families grilling meat and I am offered thin slivers and conversation. Sometimes there are only men, too few to call a congregation, drinking beer in the lamplight. Their good-natured laughter is enticing, their bottles amber bright and too warm to sweat. These are the most nondescript men I have ever seen. Once he followed me inside. I awoke with a full Modelo on my nightstand and my forearms ripe with bruises, a used-up cutting board, a dry oil slick, a woman's stained underwear. Now sometimes I come home and fall to my knees. He's here, in the corners, behind each closet door, crouched in the shower. The AC growls awake. 1, 2. I'll just do one more. And Justin told me that he was doing a RBG poem, and I thought, well, I have one that I've kind of been thinking about, so this is kind of like my ode to RBG, even though I know she wasn't there for Roe v. Wade, but still, I'm thinking about her. Ode to my womb. Dear unstocked refrigerator, you decide on curtain patterns, damask or velvet, maroon or floral. You were the first interior decorator, and how could you be anything but a woman peering out at me through what blooms in my underwear? I hate you at your emptiest. Oh, little fist, you wait between two poisons to swell or wrinkle, shrill pain squeezing around the breath I can't catch. Dear woman crossing her legs in an airport terminal, who but you starts a war? What kind of artist can you call yourself until the only time I'll meet you? Through sound, a topographical map, black and white even when you're cherry red. I was still a child when I learned I could bleed from no wound. My sisters already knew, be careful with boys, the hunt is on. So send me your pearls, wrap them in scarlet shrouds and I will bury them out back. Send them and I will offer you my lovers. I have nothing else to give. Thanks, everyone.